think boxing-wise, he's going to give Canelo fits. I don't believe he can hurt Canelo. I just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful.
Just need to be left unsaid. I understand he's articulating like his point of view, like, look, this is all natural work. We're just working hard at it. We're doing X, Y, Z.
I always wonder, will people say that, no, Canelo was going down and he had had enough? That there might be an excuse for that. So.
Yes.
Stephen A. Smith has raised fresh concerns about the looming showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, pointing directly to Canelo's noticeably larger physique. While Smith acknowledges Crawford as the more skilled and versatile boxer, he warns that the size gap could play a decisive role if Crawford's punches can't earn Canelo's respect or slow him down. Smith cautions the fight could quickly tilt in the Mexican champion's favor. His remarks underline the intrigue and uncertainty surrounding how the physical disparity might shape this blockbuster clash.
You know what? I think my initial reaction would be to say that I think that Crawford would be the superior boxer, as great as Canelo is, as seasoned as he is, with 65 fights, if I recall, on his record. I think boxing-wise, he's going to give Canelo fits. I don't believe he can hurt Canelo. I just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful. Again, Crawford is the superior boxer, but if he can't hurt Canelo, he can't keep him off him. He says it's a legacy fight, and he believes he can do the same, and he wants to do the same against a fighter the caliber of Canelo Alvarez, which is why we haven't really seen him in the ring against anybody else. Fortunately, that's the business of boxing. He's a victim of it, not a...
Uno, Eddie Reynoso, the longtime trainer of Canelo Alvarez, has spoken out against lingering accusations linking him to performance-enhancing substances in boxing. Over the years, critics have suggested that fighters under Reynoso's guidance may have benefited from questionable methods, but the trainer firmly denies any such involvement. Reynoso emphasized that his role is strictly focused on training, strategy, and mental preparation, while fighters like Canelo are responsible for managing their own nutrition and dietary choices, with speculation resurfacing ahead of the Crawford fight, particularly given Alvarez's physique and conditioning improvements. Reynoso sought to set the record straight, distancing himself from any direct involvement with supplements or banned substances.
Eddie Reynoso says, starting now, I'll be working 100% with a team that I can supervise. I've let the boxers who have come to me to train have their own nutrition team. So all of these fighters popping because of their nutrition team. Eddie Reynoso is guilty by association, so you have to clear the shit up. That's what I was saying about Victor Conte when he came with his transparency. I'm doing the same now with Eddie Reynoso. He knows he has to clean that shit up. I suggest to Eddie Reynoso, if you're going to be 100% in control of the nutrition team, join Snack. They got hyper-exfoliated, futuristic, hydraulic chain. Get Nello on Snack. Hey, brother, Nello on Snack with the futuristic 1.121 gigawatt, brother, please.
While Eddie Reynoso has worked with multiple fighters, 7 by some reports, who have tested positive during their careers, he insists these incidents do not implicate Canelo Alvarez. Reynoso maintains that each case should be judged individually and stresses that fighters are ultimately responsible for what they consume. In Canelo's situation, he notes that Alvarez has always followed a clean program and taken extreme precautions with his food and supplement intake.
Boxing corruption at its absolute finest, but how does it connect to Eddie Reynoso and Canelo team? So Rodriguez Jr. failed his test after the Galal fight. He set the record for the most punches landed in that fight. It even prompted people like Sonny Edwards during the fight to say, this is weird. And yet, he will not be punished. In fact, he'll be kind of rewarded because he's going to get ordered an immediate rematch for the WBC belt. The only thing he's got to do is have a 12-month probation period with random testing. Now, WB are doing this because they have ruled it proven unintentional use. It just so happened he took stuff that was extremely beneficial to his conditioning. Here is the WBC official statement. Feel free to pause this and read it. But what's it got to do with these two fine gentlemen? Well, Rodriguez Jr. is part of Canelo team, and he was rumoured to be managed by Eddie Reynoso. Eddie Reynoso since came out and said, no, I don't manage him, blah, 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 and he distanced himself. Now, why that's important is because Eddie Reynoso has been connected to, I think now, 6 or 7 fighters who have all failed their drugs tests. The rumour around town, now this is just a rumour, and definitely not true, is that these two may have smoothed things over with the WBC, maybe used their position of power to get Rodriguez Jr. a bit of a lenient sentence, put it that way. Again, that's not true, I've just completely made that up. But what is unbelievable is a fighter nowadays can actually fail a drugs test and not be punished whatsoever. In fact, can be rewarded. Unbelievable.
Terence Crawford's strength coach has delivered a bold prediction ahead of the blockbuster showdown with Canelo Alvarez. With unwavering confidence, he declared that Crawford will break the beast out of Canelo, insisting the camp is fully locked in. His remarks reflect the belief within Team Crawford that their fighter's power, conditioning, and relentless discipline can neutralize Canelo's size and experience. According to the coach, preparation has been meticulous, balancing strengths and stamina to ensure Crawford can match Alvarez in every area. The statement has only intensified the build-up, as fans debate whether Crawford's power at a higher weight can truly trouble one of boxing's most seasoned champions.
Listen, I get a lot of texts asking how I'm doing, how camp is going, so I figured I could just put it up in one post. So I'm in the mountains. This dude's about to beat the brakes off Canelo and be the greatest boxer of all time, and I get to play a part in it. All is well, truly well. We good. I'm good. I'm real good.
If the ring is standard size, I think Bud beats his ass all around the ring for 12 rounds. If Canelo want to come forward and get the whooping, that's what he going to get. But that's the thing. In that last Skull fight, he didn't want to take the fight to Skull. So if Canelo don't come to fight, I don't want to see Crawford stand in the middle of the ring and take that type of risk. Because Crawford, he talk about retirement, but he can still go on after this. So he ain't got to take that punishment. He can run it back with him. I don't want Crawford forced into a dog fight with Canelo. No, I think he going to whoop his ass off 12 rounds.
Some analysts argue that the size of the ring could be a decisive factor in the Crawford-Canelo showdown. A standard or larger ring would give Crawford the space to showcase his movement, speed, and tactical positioning, keeping Canelo at arm's length. History shows that Alvarez has struggled with opponents who maintain distance and used lateral movement, most notably in his loss to Dimitri Bivol, fighters who force Canelo to chase rather than stand. Toe-to-toe often disrupt his rhythm and frustrate his offense. If the dimensions favor mobility, Crawford's chances of dictating the pace increase dramatically. But if Canelo can close the distance early, the fight could turn into a far more physical and punishing battle.
I think we want to see the best fight the best. And even though there's been a difference in weight divisions here, I think that, you know, people clamor for big names and big fights and guys who are great to fight each other. So being for the institution, and I am for the institution of boxing, I think Canelo has been great for boxing, and I think Terence Crawford has been great for boxing. So how this is going to play out exactly, I don't know. You know, Terence Crawford is older, and Canelo has, what, twice as many rounds? So I don't know how that combination ends up. You know, the weight difference. Canelo's going to be a bigger man and a bigger frame and coming up in that weight. So I think it's just going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be at the Allegiant Stadium where the Raiders play, and it's going to be filled up, and we're going to have a huge, huge night for boxing for the world to see.
On follow-up, do you feel like Terence Crawford has the style to cause Canelo problems?
Does he have the style to what?
Cause Canelo problems.
Terence Crawford's a great fighter. Terence Crawford can give anybody problems. Whether or not he will, you know, I don't have that crystal ball. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
Veteran sports broadcaster Jim Gray has weighed in on the highly anticipated clash, calling it a great fight between two champions with exceptional legacies. He praised Canelo Alvarez for his sustained excellence across multiple weight divisions while giving equal credit to Terence Crawford for his dominance and consistency in his own weight class. Gray emphasized that this matchup goes beyond titles, it's a battle for legacy, with both men seeking to secure their place in boxing history. The stakes are as high as ever.
As everybody has opinions, and my opinion is that I think Canelo will be too big for him. I think Crawford needed a little more seasoning, a little more seasoning of his weight, that is. He's had a year and hasn't had really any fights against those caliber fighters. The last fight he had a 154-pounder, moved up one division and had a difficult time in a way that he wasn't dominating as he did in the lower divisions. And you talk about a guy in Canelo whose really only bad outing was at the Bivol fight. And Bivol, when I first talked about that fight, when they asked me, Bivol is a Gennady Golovkin, just 15 pounds heavier. Same skills, maybe not the punching power, but very skilled. So anybody below 75, Canelo has dominated easily. You know, after the 5th or 6th round, it seems to be sparring sessions for him. So I think that he does very well, and I think he wears Crawford out and wins a going-away decision. Crawford is an all-time great, obviously, but there's weight divisions, you know.
Definitely as well. Abel, I'll leave it there, but I'll leave you with the final words. Any final words for the fans waiting to see you in the corner on Saturday night,
Well, you know, I'm very happy to be back. I retired for 3 years.
Renowned trainer Abel Sanchez has voiced strong doubts about Terence Crawford's chances against Canelo Alvarez. Citing the significant size difference between the two fighters, Sanchez stressed that weight divisions exist for a reason while skill is vital. Natural size and strength often prove decisive at the elite level. He argued that Canelo's power at his natural weight class will pose a major challenge for Crawford, who is moving up to face him. In Sanchez's view, even a fighter with Crawford's exceptional talent may struggle to overcome such physical disadvantages.
For the super fight in September, how do you see that fight playing out? Who are you leaning towards? Who wins that fight?
Yeah, I tell you, I tend to always think the naturally bigger fighter is going to have an advantage. I'm just, with the Crawford moving up, he was a 135-pound champion. They had 40, fantastic champion. 47 then, and then 54 is 68 too much. That's really a big jump. But I tell you, a lot of people I respect just say, no, he's going to be favored on that.
Wow.
So I don't know what to say, but Canelo's a great fighter and a smart fighter, and two fighters in the pound for pound best. Getting it on. That's nice for boxing.
And if Crawford is successful, where would you place him in the all-time greats? Does he belong in the top 10, or you've seen so many fighters come across?
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to say. But certainly he should be considered. He should be in that discussion, and people could argue that either way for a while. But if he doesn't, you always wonder. Will people say that no, Canelo was going down and he had had enough? That there might be an excuse for that. So, we'll see. But it'd be quite a feat if he does beat Canelo. That'd be